are joined by member of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame and a whole bunch of other Hall of Fames, Dallas Power head coach Nancy Lieberman. Good morning.
How are you guys?
Man, we're doing super well, and I imagine you are doing well, too, as the Dallas Power are cruising into the Big 3 semifinals, which are this weekend at the American Airlines Center.
Well, we're pretty excited. You're 9 in the league and 8 for me as coaching. But more importantly, I thought it was one of the best years that the league has ever had as far as talent, new NBA guys coming in. And we were 7-1, and yes, we won the regular season. That's over. That's behind us right now. Everybody, the 4 teams, Dr. J, Gary Payton, Michael Cooper, myself, that's pretty stout, right? Coaching.
Yes.
And it's going to be a battle. And, we play against Michael Cooper. They won last year. We lost by a couple buckets to Miami 305 last year in Dallas in the semis. For us to go to the finals. So, we keep receipts like everybody else.
Well, okay, with that in mind, then, is Miami also the only team that defeated you in the regular season this year?
We did, and I'm going to give them credit because Lance hit a 4-point shot when we had a little mix-up on a switch, and then Beasley hit a 3 from the corner. I will say this, and I've said it to my team, we missed 6 foul shots. In this league, 6 foul shots is 12 points. And I think we lost by 4. And you can't leave that many points on the board because not only that, we had them in a place where if you knock down your foul shot with the rules that Cube has and they're over the limit, we get the ball back. So we take possession strategically away from Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley. And we did not execute on that. And so, therefore, we have to get better. We haven't missed a foul shot since that game, which is unreal.
That's nice.
I'll bet. Yeah, you can. The players can be motivated for sure. Now, you talked about kind of the upgrade or how much better the talent has gotten. Obviously, unbelievable coaches. Do you feel like that's been reflected in terms of audience excitement and the attendance and all those things?
Considering that this was World Cup this summer, right? Our TV ratings on CBS, they've been up about, the last time I looked, it was 23 or 24%. The arenas have been packed. It was packed at TD. It was packed in Houston. It was packed in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale a couple weeks ago. So the arenas, Chicago, Wintrust was sold out. So we really feel comfortable about where we are as a league, and we're growing. And you saw where the valuation of the Big 3 is $290 million, which is unreal.
Yeah.
So Cube and Jeff Quantinence are building this for long-term sustainability, and even like with our partnerships, whether it's partnering with Prostate Cancer Foundation, to save the lives of men, specifically Black men. We're doing so many things. There's the visible and the invisible. And I love where the league is going. And we're innovators in rules with Bring the Fire. 1 foul shot is 2 points. If you get fouled in 3, you should take a shot from 3. If you make it, you get 3 points. It just tightens up the time of the game. So Bring the Fire, by the way, is in the middle of the game on a shooting foul. If I don't think my guy fouled you, then I can hit the red button and all the flames go up and all that crazy stuff in the arena.
Got to have some showmanship.
But and the great stuff about that is it takes about 2 minutes or less. You play one-on-one. If we make it, we get the 2 points. If they stop us, they get the ball. I like those rules. By the way, the NBA was experimental with the G League with 1 foul shot, 2 points. So I think Cube's onto something here.
I'm always curious how much different is strategizing for 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5. And was it a big change for you, or you're like, no, we're in stuff like this all the time, just on a smaller fashion?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because on a basketball court, right? everything pretty much is a triangle.
She's drawing it
You
up right
guys
now
see my
for us.
my little triangle
I
right
love
there.
it.
Love it. Yes.
So that's a triangle. And then you have two people on the weak side. So in the NBA, if these guys on the triangle side get past somebody, there's weak side defense that rotates over. Then it's called second side offense. Now you got two on one on the weak side. This is concept basketball. You've never seen 10 guys on one side of the floor.
Right.
And it's its purest form strategically of passing and cutting and movement and spacing, and then we have the putback rule. If a ball gets deflected or a shot gets blocked or there's a turnover, like in the schoolyards, it's a putback. You don't have to clear it. So it's its purest form, and you have to be basketball alert. The fans are loving it. I mean, our fan base is pretty dope. It's amazing. There's young kids, there's old kids, there's girls, there's boys, there's white people, there's black people, there's Muslims, there's, you name the people in the arena. And most of the time, they don't look the same, but they love the game and they love the players, and they just, the music, the excitement, it's not just corporate suits.
Right. Exactly.
It's the real, and there are a lot of corporate suits who are just basketball fans, but they show up with their peers in suits. Hey man, just come to the game as you are. Cube, we have great music, we have great artists. It's like going to a concert. It could be Cube performing in between games. It could be, one of his incredible friends performing. The whole thing is an incredible show, but the game is the game, and iron sharpens iron. And it is a physical game. And you have to be mentally, physically tough, play through contact. And it's really a battle of the titans. And we want to be those. We don't want to be dogs. We don't want to be, Howard doesn't want to be a dog. We want to be a wolf, because wolf eats dogs.
Talk with Nancy Lieberman right here on 105.3 The Fan, and I got a real kick out of this. Before we did radio, we were in the newspaper business, and when I'm looking at the roster, looking at the team, TJ Klein is somebody that I covered at Plano West. What is it like? For me, it's really cool, but what is it like having your son on the team?
It's amazing. I'm recently now looking at my schedule for therapy. It's look, Ken Griffey, he played with his son, right? The Griffeys, how great is that? Who was it? Gordie Howe played with two of his sons with the Arrows, hockey. Here, LeBron and Bronny, everybody bitches about, you can't. If you have a chance to play with your kid, and I have a chance to coach my kid, and anybody who knows me knows that if TJ could not play at this level, one, he wouldn't be playing for me, and two, I'd put him in the portal. And some people would say that'd be child abuse, but it's not. I have a responsibility to our players and to this league. And TJ last year was voted most improved. He's up for the fourth Man of the Year award, which is like the sixth Man of the Year award. We don't know when those will be named. There's some great players. These are all voted on by your peers, the Dwight Howards, the Lance Stephensons, Michael Cooper. So TJ's come a long way. He has just dedicated his career. He loves playing overseas, but he loves playing in the BIG3. And it's what I've noticed when TJ was at Plano West and then he went to Richmond and then overseas, the better the competition, the better he has accelerated his game. And don't look at his color, don't look at his name, just look at his game.
Would he give us a super positive scouting report at all times as you as a coach?
He'd say, "Mother, your tone. You're too tough. Your generation. You when something went wrong, you took dirt and you just rubbed it on yourself." And I went, "Yeah, that's what we did in the 70s, 80s, 90s." So we're trying to blend culture, generation. You know what I've learned so much from TJ, and I really admire him. There's EQ and IQ, right? Emotional intelligence and intellectual intelligence. He has both. but he's taught me to be a better listener. And I fail mightily with that because I'm a problem solver. But Teach has done such a great job of saying, Mom, I didn't ask for your opinion. I wanted you to hear me. And I've had to say, I'm sorry a lot, but he's made me better at listening to my players. It was a close game the other day, and he came to the huddle before I went in, and he goes, everything has to be positive. Everything has to be upbeat, and we win this game. And I went in the huddle like, we're playing great. You're doing a great job. I didn't even draw a play. You just keep playing as hard as you can play. This is what we've waited for. Boom, we went out and scored 2 buckets and won the game against the triplets, Dr. J's team.
How finger on pulse so important. How fortunate are Dr. J and Gary Payton to get to coach against you?
Look, I love those guys. Literally, I went from the game we played in Miami, snuck into Phoenix because they honored the 30-year anniversary of the inaugural team, which is super cool. They did it with class personified. And then I left for Oakland because Gary had his charity event in golf, and I wanted to show up for him. And that's what, when I have something here with, Dream Ball and Nancy Lieberman Charities, Julia shows up, Hugh shows up. That's what we do for each other. Awesome. Even though Julius has his name on the trophy. You don't think he wants to hand it to himself?
Right.
I'm doing everything in my power not to let that happen. And then I hug him and say, I love you. We care. Michael Cooper. Mike's been a great friend. Man, this guy's won everywhere. Not only did he win, all those 5 rings in LA, but he's won a championship coaching the Sparks. He's won a championship in the BIG3. I think he might have won a championship in the G League. He's won everywhere. He's really unbelievable coach, and he's got Beasley and Lance Stevenson. That's 45 points a game right there, and he knows how to coach emotion. So the 4 of us, it's going to be a battle in Dallas, and it'll be sold out at the AAC on Saturday. There's a celebrity game at 11 o'clock. The Cube and Drexler, they coach the celebrity teams. And then 12 o'clock is the first game with the Ball Hogs and Triplets. And then we are the second game at 1 o'clock with Dallas Power against Miami 305. It's going to be great. I have a list of media I've done since early this morning, and I get excited 8 years later. I just love this league, and I love that man, and I want all his hard work to pay off.
And you can get tickets at big3.com. You can also go to Ticketmaster. But I got to know, since we said the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, but also the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, while you are enjoying success in the Big Three, what are your thoughts about the growth, success, and seemingly continuous controversy in the WNBA?
Let me start with the positive. We are at a time where we're in tremendous growth in a lot of different areas. I'll start with economically. By and large, all the players that have signed contracts now will be millionaires if they're not already millionaires for 4 months. Pretty good gig. They've worked really hard. Asia Wilson is clearly the best player in the world. 3 championships, 4 MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year. One of the nicest, kindest, amazing human beings you'll ever meet. And she has a tremendous effect on her team. Look at what Olivia Miles has done, why Nafisa Collier was out for most of the season. Olivia she's box office.
Yeah.
She's breaking records left and right. Look what we have in Dallas with Paige Beckers. This might be the best wings team that I've seen, with Enrique and AZ and Jessica Shepard and Jose Fernandez has done a remarkable job, coaching, pushing, taking them to the next level. And Paige is Paige. She's one of the top 10 players or better in this league right now. Caitlin, Sophie, Aaliyah Boston. I could go down a litany of some of the great players right now in the league. And they're on Washington, they're on Seattle, they're everywhere. So, I love watching, and I love going to Wings games, and not just to see the Wings, who I love and support, but to also make sure that the players on the other team know that I'm here. It's very important for me to give them a hug and shake a hand of a young person and let them know that we have a sisterhood, just like the men have a brotherhood. And it doesn't matter if you were Bill Russell, or it doesn't matter if you're Ant right now. We will always be a family in this thing we call the WNBA. Growing pains is tough, and a lot of this is social media has, agitated people, or, everybody has an opinion, and apparently we're entitled to it outside of our league. There's new fans, there's new anger, there's new happiness, there's new, hey, today's the 12th, what are we protesting today? I don't subscribe to that personally, but I can't deny other people's feelings. And, the W is going through that right now. And look, Dejanay is a hell of a player, and there's the physicality in the league. I was probably worse than her, right? I had the first fight in WNBA history. My team had the first brawl. I'm not saying that, with pleasure. That's how I grew up playing at Rucker Park,
right,
and playing against men for 17 years because I didn't have the W. These women are big, they're strong, they're physical. Was it a cheap foul? Yeah, it was a cheap foul. She's not the only one in the league who does it. I'm sorry, Charles Oakley. I'm sorry, Meta World Peace. I'm sorry, Alonzo Mourning. Anthony Mason. It's happened in the league. Remember the Jordan rules?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Every game, Lambier and Mahorn were knocking the hell out of him. How are we going to navigate that? Give her 2 technicals, send her to the locker room. Now, what I don't agree on, and I haven't seen her, it's not white privilege. I'm sorry. You can't use that all the time. Everything in the world can't be just racist or white privilege. I know Black people who are the most incredible human beings in the whole world. I was celebrated by Black America in my youth. In some cases, I was tolerated by white people because I was a girl playing in a man's world, growing up, playing in the projects in Rucker Park. So I'm sorry, I won't play that game. Just say you're sorry. Just don't go in the locker room when you're emotional. And if she wanted to hear that as a sister in the game, I'd say not the right time to get on that. Don't get mad at Caitlin Clark because she's hitting logo threes. Michael Jordan changed the course of the NBA in 1984. He changed the salary. He changed collective bargaining. He changed media, selling out arenas, higher attendance, more money. Players became instantly, pretty much had generational wealth. Same thing with Tiger Woods. Look what he did in the early 90s for the golf tour. Lily White, he changed that. More people, fan attendance, the ratings went up, sponsorships went up. It benefited the players because purses went up. You got to have people like that. Just because Caitlin Clark is part of the, in the lead in the economic engine, do not get mad at her. It's okay. I mean, play hard against her. I'm sure she wouldn't want it any other way, but don't take it out on her because you're all benefiting. And what I say all the time, men don't go and get into each other's money. That's an unwritten rule,
right,
in any sport. So you can't turn around and go, well, she got a shoe before me or I got a shoe before her. Stop it. We got plenty of people with shoes right now. Kelsey Plum has a shoe. Sabrina Ionescu has a shoe. Stewie in New York has a shoe. Asia has a shoe. Angel, who's having her best year ever in the league. I mean, she's virtually unstoppable when she's around the basket. She has her shoe. It's okay that Caitlin gets a shoe, and we got to stop the pettiness. And just the long-term goal should be there's a 2-year-old that nobody knows. And in 20 years, that 2-year-old is going to make $15-20 million a year, just like the men, because of the unpaid pioneers Any pioneers that are playing right here. Yeah, I know this is hard to understand, but Asia Wilson is a pioneer. Caitlin Clark is a pioneer. Kelsey Plum, Skylar Diggins, they're pioneers, and they're helping the next generation. That's what we do. So sometimes we have to think clearly about and being purposeful and intentional. But at the end of the game, end of the day, women's sports, the W. Look what happened in Dallas with the Dallas Pulse winning $1 million.
Yeah.
Did you guys cover the fact that they won $1 million in their first year as an expansion team?
It's crazy.
But did we give them the media they deserved?
Yeah,
no,
probably not. Yeah.
no, and that bothers me because we need to do this with, FC Trinity. We need to do this with the Wings. We need to do this with the Dallas Pulse. We need to do this with other women's sports because right now our ratings are soaring, and sometimes in other leagues they're leveling off. So we're in a great economic time in women's sports. We are a business. We're not a girls' club.
Man, I really appreciate all of the insight right there. Yeah. Saturday at the American Airlines Center. You can get tickets at big3.com or on Ticketmaster. Women's, actually just basketball trailblazer, Nancy Lieberman, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. And I hope you come out to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go, everybody.
Maybe you can rap with Cube.
Okay. No, okay.
Lose
Man.
Lose that thought. Sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. There you go, man. An opportunity of a lifetime.